I'll just start off by saying it truly is an honor for me to sit across from you both today. Huge fan of your work over the years, and you two is for me, is Hollywood. I mean, this is great. That being said, thank you for this movie. It's everything you want in a blockbuster, thriller, excitement, action. You all brought it.
With heart.
Thank you.
With heart.
With heart.
You certainly brought it. When did you both realize that these characters, that this story was so iconic and such a hit with fans?
Go ahead.
Oh, it was after Judgment Day, really. Couldn't help but be hearing how everyone said I was like the icon of female empowerment, whatever. Not that you buy into that, but it was out there, and it was really the nature of just being in my own neighborhood, and this fellow who had obviously some limited comprehension of how things work, when he pumped gas in my car, and he goes, "I saw the movie. Did they pump air into your muscles?" And then I thought, boy, we really pulled that one off where somebody could believe that. You know what I mean? It sort of took on a life of its own.
Mr. Schwarzenegger, this character has really been a big part of your life and us as fans. When did you realize that this was such a big role?
I realized it after Terminator 1 came out. We were all surprised that the movie was on Time Magazine's top 10 list, because here was a movie that the studio kind of thought is a B movie. It's a cheap, kind of low-budget movie that was cost $6.5 million. Let's kill some people, let's create some havoc on the screen, and make a big action movie out of this whole thing, and just make a little bit of money and go home. But then when the movie came out, and it was a critically acclaimed movie, at the box office it started, I remember, with a certain number, and then the next weekend it was even bigger, then it was bigger, then we realized, wow, there is really a great word of mouth out there, and this is a very popular movie, so much so that in the end the fans demanded a sequel, and that's when Judgment Day was made.
What about this story brought you guys back to this world?
Well, it had been a long time for me, so I never, ever imagined that I'd be coming back to play Sarah Connor. But Jim Cameron approached, and I was hesitant, and I really thought about it for a long time. Did I have something new to say as Sarah Connor of a certain age? I basically did not want to let Sarah Connor down. It's not about the fan base. I'm not very result-oriented, but I have a great affection for Sarah Connor and how she has impacted my career. And the fact that 28 years had passed made it very intriguing, because it gave me a lot to play with, to fill in those blanks for myself and then bring that to the screen.
Texas in the house.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my man?
Let's crack.
Right before we started, you told me about somebody from H-Town that's going to the premiere.
Yeah, no. So Bun B of the legendary Underground Kings.
Oh, we know who Bun B. I know Bun B.
Yeah, he and I were. We just kind of on Instagram, man. I was following him, and I'd comment on stuff, and he said, and he does music with my buddy Gary Clark Jr., who I grew up with in Austin, and. Yeah, man, we just started exchanging messages, and he's like, "I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Keep making Texas proud." And I'm like, "Holy moly!" So Gary was shooting. I finally got to actually meet him, because Gary. Well, actually, no, I met him at South by like 10 years ago.
Right.
We took a picture together. He didn't know who I was. And then Gary did a video, and then Bun and I were doing like a red carpet scene. We all chopping up, went to the hotel, we were just hanging out, and I was like, "You want to come to the premiere?" And you and Queenie, he's like, "Yeah, that'd be great."
Dude, that is so cool.
So Bun's coming to the premiere.
Paul Wall, Trey, all those. I did
Trey the
radio.
Truth.
Yeah, Trey the Truth. Yeah, I mean Trey Day. Yeah, I did radio for years as you call Party 104.9 in Houston and KRBE, and that's how I know all these guys.
We were just in Korea. I sent Bun a text. We were just in Korea at this bar opened up by two Austin guys, and they had a Pim's Cup that they called the Pimp's Cup.
Right, of course.
R.I.P. Pimp C. And I was like, dude, you guys are, of course, you're worldwide, but check this out.
That's
just
cool.
Really happy to see that.
Well, we got to talk about this, man. How next level of a role is this? I mean, you brought it.
Yeah, after the last job I did, which was for a really great company and a really great superhero character, I was like, well, where do you go? Does it get better? And I guess it does, because it's not often this size of picture is still made. The size and scope of this one is about as big as you can get, and it's really just been a great experience. I already had a lot of the skills necessary from playing the Ghost Rider and playing other kind of action-oriented characters, but this one required me to just turn all that up to 11.
Tell me what it's like the first time that you see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Linda Hamilton, but not just seeing them, but you're seeing them in these iconic roles that really, they've said, made them big stars.
Yeah, the first time I saw Linda in life was just when we were doing weapons training. Gave her a big hug. She kissed me on my cheek, and I just started to feel all my hairs on my body go up. And then first time I saw Arnold was in the hair and makeup trailer, and he was very complimentary in our first encounter and said that he admired my physique, thought I was doing the work, so I was really happy about that. But the first time I saw the T-800 in Linda Hamilton was I'm like running up onto the ramp of the C5, and she's blasting me with an AR, he's blasting me with this like grenade launcher, and I go back and I look at the frame, and Tim looks at me, he's like, holy shit, we're making a Terminator movie. I was like, yeah, no shit, we've been doing it for like 6 months. And
dude, that's so dope. That's so cool.
But once you see them together, that was it. That's what really clicked, and we all knew where we were and what we were doing.
No spoilers, but as you transform in the character, what's the makeup process? Or again, no spoilers, but what do you go through to get ready to play?
Fortunately for me, I don't really have a lot of makeup to do because I don't really suffer injuries or wounds or scars or anything.
But as far as transformation, I mean, are you wearing something special?
Well, when I'm the endoskeleton, I'm wearing the mocap suit.
Okay.
Because I offer all the physical information for the endoskeleton when it's operating as a separate entity, and as far as my own preparation, it's just, I did all the work to get my body where it needs to be. I worked out what physical geometry that the character must inhabit. There's a lot of Bruce Lee in the character, just because, he says be like water and be adaptable and be efficient with your movements. There's no wasted movement. There's no shifts in your weight that are unnecessary. You're just a forward moving, you're a shark, you're just like hot knife through the world. And that's all of that's incorporated into the character.
Congratulations. I mean, this is truly one of those big, explosive type blockbuster movies that you really look forward to, and then when it delivers the punch, literally, it's satisfying. We really enjoyed watching it. So, what was it like to make though? Was the adrenaline rush there? Could you feel the excitement and the thrill? Both your eyes went like this when I asked that question. Tell me about that.
It was really exciting. I mean, it was a whole adventure. It's an action movie. Every day on set felt like going to an amusement park and a roller coaster and what, sequence we have today. And we were like doing like C5 and Hummers and underwater acting and, car chases and weapons training. And it was a lot. It was physically really demanding. But I think it's also, not only this big action movie with crazy, amazing visual effects, but also, it has a really powerful story and powerful characters. So it was also, getting to know the script and to make it work and all the scenes and lines, so it was a really complex but exciting.
Mackenzie, same question for you. And I imagine for both of you that it was challenging as far as like getting ready for this role. Once it was done, I bet you were like, oh, I'm ready to eat pizza, I guess, because you both look fantastic. But I know getting ready for this, it must have been just a thrill.
Just hell, yeah. It was a big thing to get ready for this movie. It was really important that my body looked like it could protect someone, and that I was able to use my body in the way it was necessary in the movie. So there was about 4 months of training before we started shooting, and that was, strength training and stunt training, military training. Linda and I went to Texas to do military training with this former Green Beret. The whole thing was just so new and interesting and challenging. It was a really insane experience.
Were any of you nervous? I mean, this is a huge film. These are big stars. I know they're just people. I'm about to go talk to them and I'm scared. But, I mean, were you nervous at all? Just a little bit? like first stage? I mean, you're professionals, but there has to be. It's Terminator, is my point. Is there a little bit of like anxiety or just like?
Yeah, I think Mackenzie and I especially, like, we didn't want to disappoint Linda, you know, like this, like she's back, you know, and I think it has to be worth it, and we need to be, you know, around her and make her feel proud. So it was that, you know, but she's so loving and generous, and she was so just there and supporting that it was easy, you know, to just like fall in love with her and be there.
I love that. Biggest thrill about being a part of this movie?
Just love playing with a sledgehammer. For me.
And yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the follow-up would that be, what was the biggest challenge about this role?
Well, for me, all of it. The whole experience was new and big and, you know, like overwhelming sometimes. There was a lot of pressure and, like, you know, training but I think, you know, like physically, we have this underwater sequence that we were there for a month in this water tank in Budapest. It was kind of getting chilly, and it was tricky to be, you know, for a month underwater acting. So I think that was the biggest challenge for me.
Would you go through it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good not knowing before you do it. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I would do it again.